Welcome back, everybody, to the deep dive. We are diving into AI in contact centers today. We've got this super interesting article by Sammy Amos. He's a sales leader and AI expert. And he really breaks down how AI is changing things for contact centers. Contact centers are often seen as just a cost center,
Mm.
but AI is offering some really practical ways to boost efficiency and make customers happier.
Yeah, and what's really interesting is that we're moving beyond just using AI for simple tasks. We're talking about using AI to really understand customers and giving agents the tools to give really exceptional service.
Yeah, the article really pushes back against that idea that AI is all about replacing people, right? Instead, Amos focuses on how AI can help us move beyond just looking at old metrics like average handling time and cost per call.
Hmm.
You've probably heard of those metrics, but are they really the best way to measure success these days when customer experience is so important?
Exactly. Think about it. Wouldn't you rather have your issue resolved on the first call, even if it takes a little longer? That's where metrics like first call resolution and net promoter score become so important. They're all about measuring how satisfied you are with the overall experience?
That makes a lot of sense. So how does AI actually help improve those metrics?
Well, one of the most exciting areas is AI-powered agent assistance. Remember those old chatbots? Well, thanks to new things in generative AI, they're getting a serious upgrade. These new chatbots can understand what you mean much better and give more complete answers.
Wow, so it sounds like AI is giving chatbots a whole new level of intelligence.
It really is.
Yeah.
And this is a key point that Amos makes, we can't just let these chatbots do whatever they want. There's still a risk of them making errors, and they might give out wrong information.
So instead of just having AI do all the customer interactions, it's more about figuring out how AI and humans can work together.
Exactly. These smarter chatbots can handle basic questions and then seamlessly pass things off to a human agent when it gets more complicated. They can even stay on the call to help the agent in real time. Imagine having this super-powered assistant like whispering in your ear, summarizing the chat, giving potential solutions, and finding relevant information.
That's wild. It sounds like AI is becoming a true teammate for contact center agents.
Yeah.
So what other ways is AI transforming the agent experience?
Well, AI is changing agent training too. Imagine new recruits practicing with AI-powered personas. Like, they simulate different types of customers, happy customers, frustrated customers, all kinds. And they get real-time feedback and can work on their skills before talking to a real person.
That's awesome. That's a game changer for both the new hires and their supervisors, right? I bet supervisors are happy to get some of their time back.
Oh, absolutely. It frees them up from constantly shadowing new agents and lets them focus on other things.
So we've got smarter chatbots and AI-powered training. What else is out there?
Another area where AI is making a big impact is in data analysis. Contact centers create mountains of data from call recordings and agent performance to customer interactions and feedback. But most companies aren't really using all that information.
It's like having a treasure chest, but no key to open it. So how does AI unlock those insights?
Think of it this way. You've got all this unstructured data in the form of text like chats, agent notes, customer surveys, and so on. AI, particularly models like GPTs, can analyze all that text and find hidden trends and insights.
So we're talking about understanding customer sentiment, getting product feedback, and even spotting potential problems before they become huge issues. It's like having an army of analysts working 24/7.
Exactly. And it gets even better. AI can analyze call recordings to figure out agent performance, figure out training needs, and even provide personalized coaching. Imagine being able to ask AI questions about your data just in plain English. No more crazy reports, you just get the answers instantly.
That's an amazing tool for any contact center manager. But with all this talk about AI, it's easy to get caught up in the hype. So how can companies make sure they're not just following the newest trend, but actually using AI in a way that gives them real value?
That's a great question. And it's something we'll talk more about in the next part of our deep dive. You're right, it can feel like a lot. Amos actually gives some really good advice for companies that are just starting out with AI. He says the first thing you should do is focus on the problems that are causing you the most trouble right now. It's tempting to just go for the newest technology, but the real wins come from fixing the things that are already affecting you.
That's really good advice for anyone using any new technology, I think. So before you even start looking at AI, you need to figure out where you're losing efficiency and what's frustrating your agents and your customers.
Exactly. Once you've got a handle on what you need, you can start checking out different AI solutions that can help you with those specific problems. And, don't be afraid to try things out. Start small, see what happens, and then focus on what works.
So it's okay to make mistakes as long as you learn from them.
Absolutely. AI is a pretty new field. And there's no one perfect solution for everyone. The best way to find out what works is to try different things, learn from your mistakes, and keep making things better.
That makes sense. Now, there are a lot of companies out there saying they have the best AI solutions. How can businesses avoid falling for the hype?
Well, Amos says, don't just believe what vendors tell you. Ask for live demos and see if it really works. See the AI in action and make sure it can do what they say before you spend any money. Don't be scared to ask tough questions, and if something doesn't feel right, walk away.
So do your homework, basically. And finding the right company to work with is really important too, right?
Definitely. Experience matters a lot, especially in a field that's changing so fast. Look for companies that have a track record of success in contact centers, not just ones claiming to be AI experts in general. And another thing, using AI isn't just a one-time thing. You need help and support to make sure everything is running smoothly.
So it sounds like there's a lot to think about, both in terms of choosing the right technology and making sure it's used effectively.
Yeah, there is. And there's another super important point that Amos makes. Sometimes fixing one problem with AI can create a new one. Or like trying to be super efficient can accidentally make the customer experience worse.
Oh yeah, I can see how that could happen. Do you have an example?
Sure, let's say you use a chatbot for all your simple questions. That sounds good for efficiency, right? But what if the chatbot can't understand more complicated problems or doesn't show enough empathy when customers are upset? You could end up with customers who feel ignored and frustrated.
That's a really good point. So it's about finding that balance between getting things done quickly and still having that human touch.
Exactly. You need to think about everything that could happen when you start using AI and have a plan for any unexpected problems.
We've covered a lot in this deep dive. We've talked about how awesome AI can be for contact centers, the importance of starting with a clear understanding of what you need, trying new things, and finding the right partner. But what does this mean for the future of customer service? Where do you think we're headed?
That's the million-dollar question, right?
Yeah.
Amos actually talks about this in his article. He thinks we're moving towards a future where AI and humans work really well together, like what he calls a symbiotic relationship.
So it's not about robots taking over the world. It's more about AI helping people do their jobs better.
Exactly. AI can handle the boring, repetitive things, and that frees up human agents to focus on more complex issues and give that personal touch that a lot of customers still want.
So AI is taking care of all the hard work so human agents can do what they're best at, building relationships and solving problems.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. This kind of teamwork can create a customer experience that's both super efficient and really personal. Imagine AI analyzing data to figure out what customers need before they even ask. It could offer solutions before they even reach out.
Wow, that would be awesome. Like having a personal assistant for every customer.
Exactly. And think about how much you could personalize recommendations and offers based on each person's preferences and past interactions. We're talking about a whole new level of customization that wasn't possible before AI.
That sounds like an exciting future for customer service. But realistically, not every company is ready to go all in on AI. What do you think are the best opportunities for using AI in the near future?
Well, the easiest place to start is by automating those repetitive tasks that take up a lot of time and frustrate everyone. Things like answering FAQs, sending calls to the right place, or giving basic troubleshooting advice.
So use AI for the things that don't need a human touch, and let the agents focus on the conversations that matter most.
That's right. And as AI technology keeps getting better, we'll see even more amazing things. Imagine AI systems that coach agents in real time or virtual assistants that can handle complex transactions with very little human help.
The possibilities are endless. But I think the most important thing to remember is that AI is a tool, not a replacement for human interaction.
Yeah, definitely. The best AI implementations will be the ones that make the customer experience better, not worse.
Well said. We've covered a lot today. Amos also gives some practical tips for companies that want to start using AI in their contact centers. Let's talk about those in the last part of our deep dive. Okay, so we've talked about all the cool things AI can do for contact centers and things to keep in mind when you're starting out. Now let's get into some of those best practices Amos talks about. What are the key takeaways for companies who are thinking about using AI?
One of the first things Amos talks about is having a really clear vision. Like, what are you actually trying to do with AI? Do you want to work faster, cut costs, make customers happier, or all of those things? When you know exactly what you want, you can pick the right AI solutions and measure how well it's working.
So it's not about just using AI because it's cool, but actually figuring out how it can help your business.
Exactly.
Uh,
And once you have that clear vision, you got to think about your data. AI is only as smart as the data it learns from. So you need to make sure you have good, clean, organized data that's relevant to what you're trying to do.
right, like garbage in, garbage out.
Mm.
What else does Amos recommend?
He also says to start small and scale up slowly. Don't try to change everything at once. Pick one area where AI can make a real difference, try it out, and then see what happens before you go bigger.
So like a test run to see if AI is worth it before you go all in.
Exactly. And remember, using AI is a journey, not a destination. You always need to be watching how your systems are doing, getting feedback, and making changes along the way.
So being flexible is really important.
It is. Amos also talks about change management. When you use AI, you might have to change your workflows, your processes, and even how your company works. It's super important to get your employees on board, talk to them clearly, and give them the training and support they need to be successful.
So it's not just about the technology, it's about the people too.
Totally. And lastly, Amos reminds us that AI is a powerful tool, but it's not a magic solution. It's important to have realistic expectations and know that AI won't solve all your problems overnight.
Right, so use AI strategically, not just because it's the hot new thing.
Exactly. It's all about using the power of AI and knowing what it can and can't do.
Well, this deep dive has been amazing. We talked about all the ways AI is changing contact centers, from automating tasks to helping agents and getting really valuable insights. AI is not just a fad, it's changing how we think about customer service.
It really is. And for companies ready to jump in, the future is super exciting.
So for our listeners who are ready to start using AI, what's the one piece of advice you'd give them?
Ask yourself, what are the biggest problems in your contact center and how can AI help fix them? Then do some research, find the right people to work with, and don't be afraid to try things and learn as you go.
That's great advice. Well, this wraps up our deep dive into AI in contact centers. We hope you learned something new today. Big thanks to Sammy Amos for his awesome article and to Scopic for making this episode possible.
Thanks for listening.